Friends, welcome. Welcome to the lesson that will help you restore your focus, your drive, and your sense of purpose. From now on, every step you take will carry real intention behind it. People around you will start to notice a change, a clarity in your eyes, a steadiness in your energy, and they'll wonder, where does he get all that from? Interested? Let's get started. All week, we've been building habits and routines that help us feel more energetic, get more done, and live more fully. But as wisdom teaches us, the fastest way to stop moving toward the life you dream of isn't to do more. It's to keep doing the things that silently drain your potential, slow your momentum, and hollow out your energy reserves day after day. That's why today's lesson may be the most important of this entire course, and it revolves around a brain chemical called dopamine. So let's break it down properly. Dopamine is primarily a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain. Its main role isn't simply to make you feel pleasure. It's actually more involved in motivation, anticipation, and the drive to pursue rewards than in the experience of. Think of it less like a pleasure button and more like a compass that points you toward things your brain has decided are worth pursuing. When you set a goal, anticipate a reward, or feel excited about something on the horizon, dopamine is at work. In that sense, it's genuinely powerful. It's what makes you lace up your shoes before a run. What makes you open your notebook to study? What gets you out of bed with a sense of direction? Here is where things get complicated, though. The modern world has become extraordinarily good at hijacking this system, at triggering that drive and anticipation without delivering anything of real value on the other side. Social media feeds, video games designed around variable reward loops, pornography, ultra-processed foods, all of these are engineered to activate your brain's motivation system intensely and immediately, while returning very little in terms of genuine satisfaction, growth, or meaning. And the more frequently you expose yourself to these intense, effortless stimuli, the more your brain recalibrates. Over time, your threshold shifts. Activities that are genuinely rewarding, but which require effort, patience, or delayed gratification, start to feel less compelling by comparison. Not because they've changed, but because your baseline has shifted. Your brain, having been flooded repeatedly with easy, high-intensity stimulation, begins to treat anything that requires real effort as simply not worth the energy. This is where apathy comes from. This is why motivation disappears, not because you are lazy or broken, but because your reward system has been quietly overwhelmed and desensitized. Here is a simple framework to help you see this clearly. Think of any activity on two dimensions: how strongly you want to do it at the start and how you feel as time goes on. There are activities that start with an intensity of 10 out of 10. The desire is immediate and overwhelming. You are pulled in almost without thinking. But as you go, satisfaction doesn't rise to meet that desire. It falls. And after it's done, you feel emptier than when you started. Drained, hollow, maybe even ashamed. That crash isn't just psychological, it's your brain recalibrating after a spike it wasn't built to handle sustainably. Then there are activities that start at a 5. The desire is moderate. You don't feel a desperate pull toward them. In fact, getting started might feel like a minor act of will. But something different happens as you engage. Satisfaction builds. It grows steadily, and when you finish, you feel more energized than when you started, not less. You feel capable, focused, like you are moving somewhere. The problem isn't that the 10s exist. The problem is what happens when you fill your life with too many of them. The 5s, your workouts, your meaningful projects, your studying, your real conversations, start to feel almost invisible by comparison. Not because they've lost their value, but because your brain has been conditioned to chase the 10s. And even the 10s stop delivering after a while. You are exhausted and empty, but the 5s still don't appeal to you. That's the trap. That's the vicious cycle that keeps so many people stuck. The path out is straightforward, even if it takes discipline. If you can honestly identify the activities in your life that start at 10 but reliably end in a crash, and begin removing them, or even just reducing them significantly, something shifts. The 5s become more visible, more appealing, and as you engage with them consistently, they begin to compound. The satisfaction grows, the energy builds, the sense of direction becomes stronger. This isn't about punishing yourself or adopting some extreme lifestyle. It's about doing an honest audit. After this lesson, take a sheet of paper and divide it in two. On the left, write down everything in your daily life that drains your energy. The things that feel irresistible at the start but leave you feeling worse afterward. On the right, write down everything that genuinely adds to your energy. The things that build you up over time, even if they require effort to begin. To figure out which category something belongs to, use this simple filter. How do I feel before, during, and after? If you feel drawn to something, enjoy it while it's happening, but feel depleted, guilty, or empty once it's over, that's a drain. Put it on the left. If you feel some reasonable motivation going in, engaged while you are in it, and genuinely better once you are done, that's a fuel source. Put it on the right. Let me walk through a few examples, not to tell you what to remove from your life, but to make the framework concrete. Mindlessly scrolling through social media. Before, curious, mildly restless, wanting stimulation. During, entertained, passively absorbed. After, time has passed, nothing has changed, a faint sense of having wasted something. For most people, this belongs on the left. Pornography. Before, desire is at a maximum. After, the motivation to build, to connect, to pursue anything meaningful is almost entirely gone. For most people, and the research increasingly supports this belongs firmly on the left. Ultra-processed food. Before, you want it. During, it tastes good, then cloying, then too much. After, energy dips, focus drops. If you had a fitness goal, there is guilt layered on top. Occasional indulgence is human. A daily pattern is a drain. Video games. I'll be honest with you, I love certain games. I could set up a console tomorrow and enjoy it genuinely. But I know what it does to my focus over time. I know it adds another 10 to my environment that makes the meaningful work feel less appealing, so I choose not to. That's not a moral judgment about gaming. It's a personal audit of what it costs me. Here is the point. You don't have to become a monk. You don't have to eliminate every source of pleasure from your life. But you do need to be honest about what's actually filling you up and what's quietly running you down. Most of us have never done this audit. We've just moved through life reacting toward whatever feels most compelling in the moment and away from whatever feels like effort. This lesson is about changing that. It's about taking back control of your own motivation system, not through willpower alone, but through environment design. By reducing the 10s, you make room for the 5s to grow. And the 5s, over time, become the most rewarding things in your life. This wraps up our first week together. We've taken our 24 hours, built structure into them, filled them with genuine energy, and now we've done the work of clearing out what drains us. Next week, we move into vision, mission, and goals, building from the big picture down to the daily details, making sure everything you do moves you closer to realizing the potential you already carry inside you. Thank you, friends. Share your reflections in the comments. I genuinely want to hear what came up for you. Do the exercise, and on Monday, we'll meet again for the second peak of the 4 Men Mastery. We're just getting warmed up, friends. Let's go!